Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be creating these chrome and pastel 3D swirls. I really love this design. It's very effective and quite easy to achieve. So we are going to start by applying and curing our base colour. You can use any colour base. We are using a platinum silver or platinum white chrome, so I'm using a light base which is going to accentuate that when we pop the chrome on. So I am now going to pop on a layer of Lecentè Layer It. As you would have seen in other posts I've done, Layer It is the key to chrome and glaze nails. It gives you the perfect surface to get the perfect glaze or chrome every single time. So I'm now going to dispense the colours that I'm using for my swirls onto my Lecentè palette, and then we'll be ready to go on with the swirls. For 60 seconds, and I have my chrome here. Isn't that beautiful? So using my chrome applicator, I am going to dab and then rub to buff that into the surface of the Layer It. So I want to buff it to a nice high shine, and then using a dry lint-free wipe, I'm just going to buff that in a little bit more to get even more shine and smoothness. I'm going to dust away any excess powder before applying our top coat. So I'm using a shiny top coat because we're going to sugar the top layers. This is actually going to be our top coat for this part of the service. There's no other top coat going on. So make sure that you encapsulate that chrome really well on this application. So now I am going to use my S1 brush to apply my stripes. I'm going to load it up. So I want to make sure I've got colour going the full length of that brush. So I'm going to swipe it through the colour on my palette to make sure it's nicely loaded. And I want it to look even all over the brush. I don't want a big dollop or dot at the end of my brush because that will result in a dollop or dot when I apply it onto the nail. So keeping that brush nice and flat to the nail, I'm going to follow that swirl through. These swirls are a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go in and apply a second line and fill out that line nice and evenly. So I'm not going to be curing these lines in between applying, so be extra careful not to touch or rub your previous line when you go on with your second line. There's a nice gap in between the lines, so you shouldn't have a problem with that really. A little whoopsie here, I'll point it out because you may have noticed I actually have another colour on my palette, but I've ran out of space to apply that. So just make sure if your client has specifically picked her colours that you can fit them on the nail. So I'm now taking my clear powder from Lecentè, and I am just going to sprinkle that powder into these colour stripes, remembering that none of these have been cured. So then I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to knock off the excess powder, and then I'm going to pop it in the lamp to cure. So that clear glitter powder will be cured into the colour layers. Here we go. Then I'm going to dust them off after curing, not before, or you're going to end up with a smudgy mess. And that is the finished result. So you've got your 3D swirls on your chrome background. I think this is a gorgeous design. I hope you agree. While you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos coming up very soon.